The top stories tonight in Y News. An economist believes that the ongoing conflict in Israel could potentially have effects on the Philippines.
An independent minority lawmaker asks President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. if he would relinquish a portion of his confidential and intelligence funds for 2024.
Several senators appealed to the Republic of Marshall Islands to provide immediate help to Filipino fishermen victims and their families over a week after an oil tanker rammed a fishing boat that claimed 3 lives.
And United States President Joe Biden warns Iran against further escalating the conflict between Israel and Hamas.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, October 12, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Joselito Liquido.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Mariel Latoza.
First in the news. The ongoing conflict between Israel and the Hamas militant group could potentially have economic effects on the Philippines. According to an economist, the said conflict may impact the production and supply of oil. Nel Maribuhok details why.
The price of oil in the global market may increase. This is one of the challenges that countries like Philippines may face due to the ongoing conflict between Israel and the Hamas group. According to Astro del Castillo, an economist, because of the alliances formed by some nations amidst the ongoing conflict in Israel, it's not unlikely for oil prices to be affected. A significant portion of the world's oil production comes from Middle Eastern countries.
Pag nagka-conflict kasi sa Middle East, may domino effect na yan sa mga neighboring countries, lalo na reliyon ang medyo sensitibong usapin dito. No? So pag nagkaroon ng conflict, lalo na madamay na rin yung mga ibang allies ng Hamas, no? Na mga malalaking bansa. Ito ay makaka-apekto sa daloy ng langis at produksyon ng langis doon sa rehiyon na yun, no? Papunta sa bansa natin at sa ibang bansa.
According to The Economist, it's also possible for trade between the Philippines and Tel Aviv to be affected.
Karamihan na ini-import natin sa Israel ay mga machinery and equipment, mga chemical, mga plastics, no, mga rubber. Samantalang tayo naman na nagpapadala ng mga agricultural products sa kanila, mga pagkain, mga textiles. So, may epekto rin sa atin pero hindi enough para magpahina sa ating ekonomiya.
However, according to Joey Concepcion, member of President Marcos' Private Advisory Council, there should be no cause for concern even if the situation in Israel worsens because the Philippines doesn't heavily rely on Tel Aviv for the importation of certain agricultural products.
It's not big. I don't think we should worry about itong we don't trade too much with Israel, as far as I know. I mean, bulk of our purchases are from the rest of ASEAN countries at sa Amerika, dito sa mga wheat natin at asukal, the rest of ASEAN. So I think we should be fine.
Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Amidst the ongoing challenges in the region, more than 20 overseas Filipino workers in Israel have made a plea to the Philippine government for repatriation. In response to the distressing situation, the Department of Migrant Workers is actively working to ensure the safety and well-being of Filipinos in Israel. Bernadette Tinoy details why.
The Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, has made a significant announcement indicating that over 20 overseas Filipino workers in Israel are seeking repatriation due to the escalating conflict between Israel and the militant group Hamas. As efforts are underway to ensure the well-being of Filipino nationals in the affected area, The DMW officer in charge has reported 3 individuals as unaccounted for, emphasizing ongoing coordination with the Israeli government to ensure the safety and whereabouts of Filipinos in the region.
So far, 22 OFWs, 19 caregivers, and 3 hotel workers. Yung marirepatriate shall have already accomplished their contract, finished their contract, or at least had a good understanding and agreement with their employer.
Tragically, the agency has confirmed the loss of 2 Filipino lives in the Israel-Hamas conflict. In response, the DMW is dedicated to providing necessary assistance, including financial support and livelihood programs to the families of the victims. Furthermore, the DMW is actively coordinating with the Israeli government to facilitate the repatriation of the remains of the 2 Filipinos.
Might be at this stage kasi yun nga, with what's going on. But it's been done before, right? Nung pandemic sa Saudi, we had a mass repatriation of remains. So, kakayanin naman yun. Maybe we're just at a stage na medyo we still need to get the proper clearances from the Israeli authorities.
Bernadette Pinoy, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has set its sights on surpassing the voter turnout witnessed during the 2018 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections, or BSKE, by the upcoming electoral cycle. Dante Amento tells us why.
With President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos's declaration that October 30, 2023 will be a non-working day, the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, anticipates a surge in voter turnout. These strategic moves aims to encourage more citizens to exercise their right to suffrage and participate in the electoral process.
Sana nga po pati October 31, sana nga po nadamay na rin dahil alam niyo po kapag mahaba-haba yung bakasyonan, nauwi yung ating mga kababayan sa bawat probinsya nila, sisiguraduhin at na makakaboto sila.
COMELEC Chairman George Erwin Garcia has set an ambitious target, aiming for at least a 75% voter turnout in the upcoming BSKE.
Tayo po kasi nag-aambisyon na mahigitan yung nangyari noong 2018, kung mga 70% yan, sana man lang mga 75% ditong darating na barangay and SK elections.
In the 2018 BSKE, there were over 57 million registered voters and approximately 40,890,372 individuals voted, resulting in a 71.20% voter turnout. As the country gears up for the October 30, 2023 BSKE, the number of registered voters has almost reached 70 million. Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
In a departure from the traditional practice of having teachers serve on the special electoral board, Barangay Mabongtot in Lubuagan Town, Kalinga Province, has opted to involve police officers for this critical electoral role. Grace Flores will tell us why.
In a unique approach for the Barangay Mabongtot in Lubuagan, Kalinga, police personnel will take on the role of serving in the special electoral board for the upcoming Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. This decision comes after local teachers declined the opportunity to serve as election officers due to their close ties to aspiring barangay officials.
Sa Kalinga kasi, meron kasing tribal war, so ayaw mag-serve ng mga teachers doon sa barangay na yon, sa Lubuagan. Isang barangay lang naman yun actually.
This practice is not entirely new, as police officers have been handling precincts in Mabongtot since the 2013 BSKE, followed by the national elections in 2016 and the BSKE in 2018. Similarly, in Abra, some teachers have withdrawn their intent to serve as election board members in at least 21 polling precincts. To address this, the provincial election officer informed the COMELEC regional office, resulting in the deployment of trained policemen to replace the teachers in their roles.
May mga nag-request ulit na nag-back out, so natagdagan na yung request namin for EB, Electoral Board, na PNP ang uupo. So ngayon, total na ngayon is 31 for the entire Abra.
Grace Flores, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Egypt is engaging in discussions with the United States and other parties, exploring avenues to provide humanitarian aid through its border with the embattled enclave amidst the ongoing crisis in the Gaza Strip. However, Egypt firmly opposes the establishment of safe corridors for the refugees leaving Gaza, citing the significance of Palestinians retaining their cause and land rights. Meanwhile, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for unhindered access for life-saving supplies into Gaza, expressing gratitude to Egypt for facilitating humanitarian access through the Rafah crossing and making El Arish Airport available for essential assistance. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt has engaged in discussion on addressing the Gaza situation, notably with Italy's Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani. Conversations involving Egypt, the US, Qatar, and Turkey have explored the possibility of delivering humanitarian aid via the Rafah crossing, potentially involving a limited ceasefire in the region.
The United States president has warned Iran against further escalating the conflict between Israel and Hamas, as the death toll in Gaza rises to 1,200 with around 5,600 wounded. Paul Gatchalian will tell us the details.
In a recent gathering with Jewish community leaders in Washington, United States, President Joe Biden made a decisive move, deploying military ships and aircrafts closer to Israel, intending to send a clear signal to Iran. President Biden has issued a stern warning to Iran regarding their involvement in the escalating conflict between Israel and Hamas. According to reports, Iran had prior knowledge of the planned operations by Palestinian Hamas militants against Israel. However, early U.S. intelligence suggests that some Iranian leaders were taken by surprise at the recent attacks carried out by the Islamist group last week. In response to these attacks, Israel has initiated airstrikes, leaving Gaza in ruins and forcing a significant portion of its population, approximately 340,000 individuals out of 2.3 million, to seek refuge in shelters and schools. To demonstrate unwavering support and mitigate the risk of further escalation, President Biden dispatched U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to Israel. His mission? To underscore Washington's solidarity and work towards preventing a broader conflict from erupting. Moreover, Washington is collaborating with Israel and Egypt to facilitate safe passage for civilians from Gaza. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. Independent minority Solon Albay 1st District Representative Edsel Lagman asks if President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. will relinquish a portion of his confidential and intelligence funds for 2024. This after several government agencies requested for the realignment of their confidential funds. Rosa Ricos will tell us why.
The Office of President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. will be having 4.5 billion pesos amount of confidential and intelligence funds for 2024. This is part of the 10.7 billion pesos budget request of the Office of the President for next year. Independent minority Solon Albay 1st District Representative Edsel Lagman asked if President Marcos Jr. will relinquish a portion of his confidential and intelligence funds for 2024. This after several government agencies gave up portions or whole of their secret funds. Representative Lagman reiterates Any forfeited funds from the CIF of the President will go a long way to further support specific activities of the Department of Health, Labor and Employment, as well as social welfare and development, rice productivity, and even financial assistance to farmers. He also adds several government agencies attached to the Office of the President have been reallocated confidential funds such as the National Security Council and the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency. For Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Pimentel, the confidential funds of the President should be reduced and intelligence funds should be removed. He said the Office of the President is a civilian agency which should not be engaged in intelligence gathering. However, for Senator Sonny Angara, Senate Committee on Finance Chairperson, PBBM's use of CIFs was accounted for. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
A transport group has conveyed its support for the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program, underscoring its importance in upgrading and improving the country's public transportation system. Meanwhile, the group has emphasized the return of the suspended chairman of the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB. JP Nunez will tell us why.
The Pro-Movers Transport Alliance expressed that they will not join the transport strike on Monday, October 16, which the group Manibela intended to pursue. Pro-Movers Transport Alliance, composed of leaders from different cooperatives and corporations, supports the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. They oppose the call of the Manibela Group to extend the consolidation of public utility vehicles, which will end by 31st of December 2023. According to the group, they are ready to provide free rides among commuters who will be stranded due to transport strike. Meanwhile, one of their members exposed that whistleblower Jeffrey Tumbado is the one accepting corruption money or payola from colorum vans operating in Pasita Cubao routes. They insist that suspended LTFRB Chairman Attorney Chofilo Guadis III should be placed back to his post.
Kami sa aming grupo, 10 na ibang pang grupo ng transportasyon ay nagpapahayag at tahasang nagsasabi na kami ay nagproseso ng aming mga dokumento at kahit isang singkong duling ay wala po kaming ibinibigay sa LTFRB at wala rin pong anumang pabor ang hiningi ng aming butihing chairman. Sa halip siya lamang po ang nakita namin na tunay na nagmamalasakit sa aming sektor. Kaya nais niyang ipatupad ang deadline ng consolidation sa darating na sa December 31, 2023.
Sir Jeff, nahuli yung unit, maari hubang arborin mo. Sabi ni Jeff, sige kakausapin ko yung enforcer na hindi matikitan para hindi makarating sa office of the chairman. Sa totoo lang, hindi naman talaga involved si chairman sa hingian sa mga lagay na yan.
Furthermore, Michelle Sapangila cited an incident when he was asked by Tumbado to pay in exchange for the settlement of her concern involving her taxi units which are impounded despite having legal franchise.
Kung kaya kong bayaran ng 500,000 ang aking impound para lahat malinis, yun ay kanilang aayusin na parang walang nangyari sa aking impound. Pagdating sa legal, natatabunan na naman ang dokumento ko dahil si Jeff tumatanggap ng pera against sa isang corporation din na nagtatayo na kalaban ng aking corporation na nagpapatakbo ng kolorom.
UNTV News requested an interview to Tumbado but he replied to answer the allegations when he is ready. Yesterday, he released an affidavit of recantation to withdraw his first allegation of corruption in the LTFRB involving Chairman Guadis. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The former bank employee arrested yesterday in Quezon City is at the center of a growing number of complaints filed by individuals who claim to have fallen prey to investment scam. Today, October 12, several groups visited Police Station 8 in Quezon City, sharing their harrowing experiences and asserting that they too have been victimized by the suspect. The extent of the scam is staggering, with the Philippine National Police, or PNP, revealing that the suspect is alleged to have scammed over 100 million pesos from unsuspecting victims.
Nakita ko kasing opportunity sa trading, lalo na sa pagmaganda, pagka nasa bull run, yung market, the economy, it's a good business, good for trade, lalo na pag malaki yung trading. Nagkataon na tayo ay nasa bear tayo ngayon, as in bear talaga. Sobrang hina, tapos nagsasarahan pa yung ibang broker. So tinamaan po talaga doon.
The victims are from various locations, including Metro Manila, Parañaque, Cavite, Cebu, Nueva Ecija, and even from abroad, reflecting the wide reach and impact of this scheme. The largest investments reported amount to a shocking 40 million and 50 million pesos. The PNP has issued an urgent plea to the public, calling on them to remain vigilant and not fall victim to such fraudulent schemes.
Nananawagan po tayo sa publiko na marami na pong cases na ganito. Yung mga kailangan po nating suriin mabuti yung mga transaksyon na mga ganito, yung biglaang napakalaki, yung parang napakalaki para bigyan kang interest na gano'n. Too good to be true, sabi nga nila. Na kailangan na magdalawang isip na po kayo kung ganun po talaga yung kita. At saka matuto na po tayo sa mga nakaraan.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, has made a significant announcement regarding the weather pattern in the country. PAGASA has declared the termination of the southwest monsoon, noting a noticeable weakening of the weather system in recent days. This change in the weather is attributed to the strengthening of a high-pressure area over East Asia, causing a gradual shift in the weather pattern. PAGASA anticipates the transition to the northeast monsoon in the coming weeks, a shift that carries implication for the weather and climate in the Philippines. As the southwest monsoon wanes, a reduction in rainfall is expected in the last quarter of this year through the first quarter of 2024. This shift is linked to the El Niño phenomenon, which is anticipated to have a significant impact on crucial sectors such as energy, health, public safety, water supply, and other.
In other news, several senators appealed to the Republic of Marshall Islands to provide immediate help to Filipino fishermen victims and their families over a week after an oil tanker rammed a fishing boat that claimed 3 lives. Harleen Delgado will tell us the details.
As the Senate opens its investigation into the Marshall Islands flagged oil tanker Pacificana that rammed Filipino fishing boat Terrain off the waters of Pangasinan near Bajo de Masinloc, lawmakers made a plea to the government of Marshall Islands to compensate the families of the fishermen who died and to the survivors whose lives have been greatly affected.
Pagkatapos nitong pangyayaring ito, kayo ba ay handa pang pumalaot uli at mangisda doon sa naturang lugar? Hindi ko pa po masabi po sa ngayon. Parang nagkaroon po kami ng mga phobia. Takot po.
Marshall Islands Deputy Commissioner for Maritime Affairs here in the Philippines, Captain Leo Bolivar, says they opened an investigation 2 days after the incident. He says they have been in close coordination with the Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG, and their own preliminary investigation is about to conclude.
Investigation was actually based in Singapore. We actually boarded the vessel. We have 2 investigators that went on board the vessel last October 6. We already are in the process of concluding the investigation, and it will be a full report that will be forwarded to IMO database, and it will be visible actually for the Port State Control.
If it's a pure accident, does anybody have to go to jail? Hindi. But we have to compensate those damaged. At wag na natin i-dribble o patagalin pa masyado. So that's our appeal to our friend, neighbor, and ally, the Republic of the Marshall Islands.
I will have this discussed with Maduro So whatever was raised and whatever was discussed here, I would.
The Philippine National Police says they may course through the Department of Justice the filing of a criminal complaint. However, Senior State Counsel Attorney Freddy Ganchun explains they are still awaiting the full report of the PCG as they want to study the incident before filing any criminal case. But she clarifies that damage claims can be filed for compensation.
Namatayan tayo ng kababayan natin, maghihintay pa tayo ng taon po, baka grade 3 na ito. Itong anak nitong kapitan, hindi pa ho tapos itong kaso.
But we can have other remedies, of course, Mr. Chair. If we look back at what happened to the Reed Bank incident, it can be payment of damages. So loss of income, actual damage because of the destruction of the ship, and emotional damage also because of the phobia that they have.
So, wag tayo muna
Senator Francis Tolentino urges the DOJ to sit down with the victims and their families to help them in what legal action to take in acquiring compensation. The PCG reports that their fact-finding probe will end a week after the inspection and forensic examination of the FB Doreen once it arrives in Subic, Zambales. The agency will also submit its report to the Department of Foreign Affairs for the appropriate diplomatic action. Jorinin Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And in other global news, another 6.3 magnitude earthquake has struck western Afghanistan just days after a strong earthquake over the weekend killed thousands. RK Llorca will give us the details live. Yes, RK, good evening.
Good evening, Joselito. A 6.3 magnitude earthquake hit 28 kilometers north of Herat City, Afghanistan at around 5 a.m. local time. According to Public Health Minister Kalandar Ebad, at least one person has lost their life and a staggering 120 individuals have sustained injuries. The city of Herat faced extensive damage to phone and power lines, exacerbating an already challenging situation. Relief goods, including vital supplies like food and blankets, are in short supply. The earthquake also triggered a landslide, blocking the main highway and further hampering rescue and relief efforts. Compounding the distress, many people were already displaced from their homes due to a prior earthquake over the weekend, which demolished over 1,000 houses. This latest earthquake has damaged approximately 700 more houses. The regional hospital, already overwhelmed by the previous earthquake, is now grappling with a dire situation. All 600 beds at the hospital are already occupied due to the influx of patients from the earlier disaster. The international community is rallying to aid Afghanistan in this trying time. The United Nations and European Union have swiftly approved a total of $9 million in financial aid to bolster relief efforts. Additionally, neighboring countries such as Pakistan, Iran, and Turkey have pledged to send essential goods like food, tents, and medicine. Back to you, Joselito.
Thank you, RK Llorca, reporting live from Thailand.
Internet companies are sounding the alarm on the largest denial of service event they have encountered that started in August. The scale of these ongoing attacks is staggering, with leading tech giants reporting capabilities to generate hundreds of millions of requests per second. Jane Robles will tell us why.
In the internet space, denial of service is the manner of overwhelming targeted servers with a fire hose of bogus requests for data. This is the most basic form of attack which can make legitimate web traffic impossible to get through. Google, Cloudflare, and Amazon have reported the largest known denial of service attack on the internet in recent months. Google and Cloudflare said the attacks on their cloud services were significantly larger, 7 times for the former and 3 times for the latter, than any previous attack they have observed. Meanwhile, the Web Services division of Amazon has been the target of a new type of distributed denial of service, or DDoS, event. A weakness in a newer version of HTTP network protocol, known as HTTP2, enabled the supersized attacks. Such weakness exposes servers, making them vulnerable to rogue requests. Companies should update their web servers, advise the tech giants to avoid remaining vulnerable. The latest attack has been ongoing since August. As has been historically proven, it is difficult to attribute who is behind denial of service attacks, with the three firms not disclosing any information on the guilty party. Jane Robles, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe.
To address the pressing burden of mental illness and enhance mental health being, across the nation, the Department of Health, in collaboration with the World Health Organization, has launched the Philippine Council for Mental Health Strategic Framework 2024 to 2028. This framework is designed to be a comprehensive guide facilitating the development and implementation of essential mental health policies, programs, and services. It is a vital step towards providing much-needed support and care for those dealing with mental health challenges. In a parallel initiative during the Safe Lunch, the Department of Health unveiled the expansion of the PhilHealth Mental Health Benefit Package. This expansion encompasses mental health benefits for outpatient services, making healthcare more accessible for individuals seeking assistance. The primary care package includes critical components such as 12 consultations, diagnostics follow-up, psychoeducation, and psychosocial support, all provided by mental health outpatient services.
The Itogon local government has taken a remarkable step in enhancing healthcare services by inaugurating a 12-bed dialysis center in their town. This newly inaugurated facility has the capacity to cater to 24 daily dialysis patients under 2 shifting schedules, or a maximum of 34 patients under a 3-shift schedule. Itogon Mayor Bernard Wacklin emphasized the pressing need for accessible and affordable treatment options for dialysis patients in their municipality.
Kasi noon pa, hindi pa ako mayor, councilor at saka board member, nag-member ako, nakita ko ang daming mga kababayan natin na taga-Itogon na nagsusolicit sa opisina sa probinsya. Tignan mo yung certification ng doktor, puro dialysis ang kanilang dinadaing.
He further disclosed that there are more than 100 dialysis patients in Itogon, highlighting the urgency and importance of this initiative. This initiative marks a step forward in improving healthcare accessibility and providing essential services to those in need, promoting a healthier and more resilient community.
Our kasambahay. As the world faces these trying times amid various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God. From the book of 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 5. It says, "Now the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart, and of a good conscience, and of faith unfeigned." And those are the reasons behind the news, October 12, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Mariela Toza, live from Australia.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Jose Lito Liquido, live from Malaysia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.